What up, Dokkanners? We got the data download for Global last night, so we are going to talk about everything that is coming up in part 2. But what's probably more concerning is the fact that there is one or two, actually, quite notable omissions from this data download package here. So let's talk about this. Big shout out to my boy Proton for all things data downloads. This might quite honestly be the most depressing image I've seen from a post from Proton. Not because, it's not his fault, and it's not Dokkan's fault, really. It's just that this data download was 4 megabytes, and that's just because Dokkan had already preset all of these assets from previous previous data downloads, so there wasn't much to give us here. I feel like, if anything, this 4 megabytes thing might have been just for simply fixing some of the existing assets. So that's kind of the situation on Global. I know a lot of people were kind of memeing on this when I posted this yesterday, and I mean, I guess rightfully so, right? Because JP just got like a 360 plus something megabyte download. Global gets this, and we don't even get a full part 2, because you might have already noticed based on the title or the thumbnail or just simply this list right here, there is something quite notable that is missing. So let's just go through one by one what is going on here. Later on tonight, we are getting 5 EZAs. Yep, 5 EZAs. 2 sub-EZAs from the Vegito event, 3 sub-EZAs from the Kid Buu event. Now, a little pro tip, once again, just to remind you guys, because of how much you're going to have to grind on these events, I would actually recommend that you guys get started right now. The reason for that is because normally for Extreme Z battles, you wouldn't spend any stamina progressing from stage 1 to stage 30. However, since you are going back to previous runs on this event, you had already completed stage 10, yet you have to jump back in to pick up more bronze medals, it's going to cost you stamina. And given the fact that you're going to have to be running 5 EZAs, which means you're going to have to get the 12, 20, 12, 12 set 5 times, that means you're going to have to farm out 60, 100, 60, 60. That's a lot of medals, given that you are only going to be getting 3 bronze medals per run. That might spend a lot of stones or meat to actually burn all that stamina, which means it might be better off to use your keys. Right now, before the actual event returns and surfaces on your main list of events, you can actually access this from the Portal of Memories and use your keys instead. That way, you don't have to waste your stamina, you don't have to waste your meat, you don't have to waste your stones to refresh your bar. You can simply just use those keys that some of you might not be using all that much. So a little pro tip there, keep that in mind. By the time you're watching this video, hopefully you've already started on it, and if you haven't, feel free to start as of watching this video. So now, let's talk about the EZAs themselves. 2 units are getting their sub-EZAs from this batch right here. So you're going to have to pick up 24, 40, 24, 24 medals from the Vegito. And when you do, you will be able to receive the Tech and Int Vegito. I'd like to ask you guys your opinion on this one, so let me just go over what these guys do. All types key, plus 3, 80%. Same exact thing for the Int. Same thing for the super attack. COD Supreme damage raises allies' attack and defense by 30% for 1 turn. Same goes for the Int Vegito. Now here's where the variation kicks in, and I want to know, depending on your playstyle, which of these units actually caters more to you. Attack and defense plus 150, plus an additional defense plus 15% per key sphere obtained. Chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack, plus 5%, with each attack received up to 30%. All allies attack and defense plus 30%. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack. So that's the Tech Vegito. And now for the Int Vegito, attack and defense plus 150, plus an additional attack plus 20% per key sphere obtained. So he's more of a nuke. Chance of performing critical hit plus 5% with each attack performed up to 30. All allies key plus 3 launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack. So basically, how you can look at this unit is all about offense, this unit is all about defense. The nuking ability here comes from raising your defense a bunch and possibly being able to tank a hit, or even better, dodging the hit, whereas the other Vegito is built more for the opposite, going on full-out offensive, trying to nuke the enemy into oblivion. So let me know in the comments which of these 2 units caters more to your playstyle. Here you get some key in the support. Here you get some stats in the support. So it is, it's pretty much just divided down the middle. This would be the perfect unit if both elements were combined into one, but unfortunately it's not. It's kind of like offensive Ultra Instinct versus defense. If you guys remember that whole theory, back when Goku first achieved incomplete Ultra Instinct, there was the whole talk about he's more defensive, he needs more offense. Kind of interesting there, so let me know. All right, so now let's talk about the other 3 units that are receiving their EZAs, and one in particular. I'm going to start with this one because I'm actually quite surprised at the, I wouldn't say backlash, but the response that I got from simply saying in passing that these units are good. I said that these 3 units are good, and I caught some flack for the Super Boo. So I genuinely want to know why people have an issue with this unit. So let's talk about this one first. This is a Tech Super Boo, Key +3, 100% for Tech, raises attack for 1 turn, causes supreme damage with a medium chance to stun. Defense +130 at the start of the turn, medium chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack, medium chance to perform a critical hit, recovers 30% of damage dealt as HP. So here's where I'm coming from. This unit can dodge. This unit has a potential for critical hit already embedded in the passive. So that right there already makes me like the unit more because it makes it easier for me to decide where I want to be allocating my hidden potential orbs. The next thing is that this unit is a stunner who can also heal with each attack dealt. So if you are focusing on additionals, you could potentially be launching multiple super attacks, multiple opportunities to stun, and multiple opportunities to heal, all the while possibly having a critical hit in there. And if you don't stun at all, you have an out with a medium chance to dodge. Now, this obviously is not the hardest hitting unit in the game. This guy can't tank to save his life, but not every unit in Dokkan has to do that. Because just imagine if every single unit in Dokkan was built like Majin Vegeta, or every single unit in Dokkan is built like physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku, then the game has no meaning because every event is a god tier. If there's actually some element of risk with units that do different things, it actually makes for a fun time team building, having different strategies and whatnot. So I genuinely want to know what you guys think about this unit and why there is some flack for this. Is there perhaps some sort of an issue when JP first got this unit? Was there a letdown when you ran this on a certain event? I haven't run this guy with his EZA yet because it's not out on global. So let me know in the comments why exactly this unit has this sort of hate that it has. I really want to know, because when it comes to JP versus global, I don't play JP events. I don't do anything JP. I always experience it first on global because I am a global player and I want to feel like I am playing global for the first time. So or feeling these units for the first time out when I'm running them on global. So let me know in the comments. Now let's talk about the Vegeta and the Goku. These two units are kind of like the Vegito in that they have sort of variations in their passives that cater to certain playstyles. Int and physical, and also STR and AGL type key +390%. Causes supreme damage, raises attack and defense by 50% for 3 turns. Same thing. Oh, actually, no, the Goku's different. Causes supreme damage, raises allies attack +30% for 2 turns. And now here comes the variation. Attack and defense +120, attack +30%, defense +20% per key sphere obtained. Chance to evade enemies' attacks +10%, up to 30 at the start of each turn. Changes tech key spheres into int when there's an ally whose name includes Goku attacking in the same turn. Recovers HP with candy. I hate this part of the passive, but this is just something that is hard-coded into this unit's DNA. This is just basically like when you're running an event where Majin Buu can change orbs into candy, you can actually gain something out of it with this Vegeta. This unit is going to be very good on a 200% lead team. Now for the Goku, attack and defense +120, attack +30%, defense +20% per key sphere obtained. Chance to perform a critical hit +10% up to 30 at the start of the turn. Changes physical key spheres to STR when there's an ally whose name includes Vegeta attacking in the same turn. Recovers HP with candy. So out of these two, I'm going to say that the Goku is probably the one that people like more, but let me know in the comments which of these two builds actually caters more to your playstyle. Would you prefer to have a more defensive setup where you have an opportunity to dodge, or would you rather have a critical built in so that you can focus more on dodging yourself or some additionals? And that is pretty much it for the EZAs. You can once again run the Extreme Z battle for Kid Buu using your keys if you don't want to waste your stamina, but just remember that once this unit releases, you can't use keys. So if you want to do this, you got to do this now for the next few hours before the unit actually, or the EZAs actually kick out, or release, I should say. Pure Saiyans is the category weakness, and the category, or the type weakness, you can't use AGL, Tech, or STR if you want to do damage, and you definitely can't use Extreme. So these guys will not be able to do any damage really, or they will do significantly less damage against the Kid Buu, but you can still bring them as long as they are in the Pure Saiyans category, because that's quite restrictive, right? Like if you're trying to only bring physical and ST or int, some of you may not have the necessary personnel to do that, so you can bring the other types, just know that they won't do as much damage. So that being said, these are all of the EZAs that are dropping. We are also getting an Infinite Dragon Ball History event. Stage 18, little side note, this is going to be releasing as Stage 18. So you might think that the newest stage is Stage 19, but they are simply just putting the event back where it was supposed to be. This was where it released on JP as the second to last Extreme Z, or not Extreme Z battle, sorry, Infinite Dragon Ball History. So when you're looking for it on global, if you don't see it on the latest stage, it's because it's on the stage before. Versus the participants of the 25th World Tournament. So this is, of course, during the Majin Buu saga, and you can gain 4 more stones from completing this with 3 World Tournaments. and 3 Earthling category units. Now here comes the issue. With this data download, and with that mission right there, you might have noticed that there is some glaring omissions in this data download. With the World Tournament, I've talked about this on multiple occasions, one of the best units that you can bring is the LR Goten and Trunks. Why? Because when this unit receives an EZA, this unit is going to be leading the charge when it comes to the World Tournament category. The problem is, there is no indication of that happening in this data download. And that is the problem, because without the LR Goten and Trunks EZA, this does make for a slightly more challenging experience for some people on the Infinite Dragon Ball History event. So I'm very surprised that they decided to remove this, and not only that, but they also removed this. Or not, I mean, I wouldn't say removed, they just never announced it. So we have yet to be given our first Super Strike event renewal. Both of these were supposed to happen at this time. So what I believe is probably going on is they are simply giving us this for right now for, you know, seemingly part 2. And then maybe in like a couple of days, they will probably give us the rest of it. Just sort of give the illusion that this part 2 has, you know, a number of pieces of content for us to work on, when in reality it doesn't. I mean, it's just the unfortunate situation on Global right now. This one campaign is a tad dry, is a tad drawn out, but that's just because we have to stall until the Golden Week celebration, which is still unknown. We don't know what it's going to be, so until that is all taken care of, I guess they want to spread this out a little bit so that it can keep the fan base somewhat occupied and entertained. I don't think it was the right call, but you know what? It's, you know, I'm not a developer. I don't know any better. So that is probably what's going on. These will surely release at some point. I highly doubt we are going to go this entire campaign without the LR Goten and Trunks EZA and the ST or the Tech Mighty Mask. This unit is also very good. So once again, just a friendly reminder, if you guys have not done so, get this unit ready. You obviously cannot awaken this unit to the TUR level, but what you can is get the Super Strike SSR fully ready to go. It is going to take a little bit of grinding because you will have to get all the copies needed to get the SA10. You will also need the medals to not only awaken 1 copy to SA10, but you'll also have to awaken 4 other copies to actually open up all the paths. And trust me, it's worth it, because when this unit receives the EZA, he is very good. This is going to be our unofficially 2nd unit in Dokkan free-to-play that does immense damage, as Supreme Damage Multiplier with SA20 is basically immense damaging. So with this EZA, he raises his attack and defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage, and greatly lowers defense, and has a pretty decent passive, which we'll talk about in a future video. I've already talked about this a few times. So you guys have got your work cut out for you. There's a lot of stuff to do. So even if these aren't coming out just yet, you could always prepare now. So that way when it does, in about a week or so, you guys will be ready. So that is it for the global data download. Kind of an L, kind of a W, depending on how you look at it. But one thing's for certain, you've got a ton of work to do with all of these EZAs. Remember, folks, 12, 20, 12, 12 times 5. That's a lot of medals to be grinding out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about these EZAs? Which one caters to your playstyle? Let me know what you guys think about that Super Boo again. And also, do you think that the LR Mighty Mask and the Tech Mighty Mask Super Strike unit are going to be releasing in about a week or so? Or do you think that they are going to be planning to hold this into another campaign for some reason? Maybe for Golden Week, maybe for something after that. What do you guys think about what's going on? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future, and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again, stay tuned, and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.